Alright, this is another video. As you can see, the meat is start getting dry. It's about 20 some minutes later. I still didn't have any water added up. So I'm going to add some water. I need to get a cup. There it goes. I put the first cup. And I'm going to put the second cup. And then you stir it. And then you just let it go. It's going to cook itself, and let it cook until it's somewhat completely tender. Remember when I said that I'm going to peel everything, so that was not a joke. You see, that's peeled up. So is the tomatoes. That's peeled up, and there it is. This is just my preference, to be honest with you. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to do it, but I prefer it that way. The next thing I'm going to do is to crush the garlic. I'm going to put this phone down, but I will be talking still. I don't know if you can see it. This is all the garlic. And you're going to use the whole thing because that's quite a bit of meat. Plus garlic is good for you anyway. If you can see it, great. Sometimes if you go to grocery store, they do have a garlic that it's already crushed in a jar, but I prefer not to use it because it doesn't even smell fresh or anything like that. So I prefer to get fresh completely. And like I said, this garlic crusher, I ordered it from Magic Chef. Believe it or not, it's like $28. Doesn't break, so it's been great for me. With your shipping and everything, you're gonna end up paying like almost $42, believe it or not, all for garlic crush. But prior to that, I used to have a garlic crusher that I bought from Metro or somewhere around one of these grocery stores anyway. It's about $5.99. I used it maybe twice. It broke. I went and bought another one. I used about maybe 3 times. It broke. And when I ordered this one, while I was still in the middle of waiting, I ended up getting up another one from the same place. That one did not break, but I only used it once. And it's that right there. It just does not work right at all. It just does not work. So this one here, it's a way to go. Like I said, it's quite a bit of money, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. So the garlic, it's all done. You can see right there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is cut everything into different plates. I don't mix anything. So it's all going to different plates. Okay, so there's red peppers. Usually I cut them in very small pieces. But again, it's your preference how you want to do it. Still, that being said, you can't have them big pieces at all. So just make sure you have as small as you can, well, as small as possible anyhow, and take it from there. Like I said, there's 3 red peppers altogether that you need to chop in pieces. And the meat still cooking along. Don't worry too much about that right now. And please, everything you do, I'm sure you already know that you gotta wash up your hands and all those cleanup protocols type of things. So now, one thing that I wanted to mention as well, about oil. Like, I prefer to use sunflower oil, but I've used virgin oil before, and I find to be okay as well. So you can use but veggie oil, I wouldn't recommend, to be honest with you, because it just doesn't smell right to me. Almost takes the flavor of the food away. I'm not sure why, but I've never been a fan of veggie oil. But a lot of people sometimes they prefer to use veggie oil for some different reasons and whatnot. I don't know, but I've used it once and I did not like it at all. Like, I could tell the difference when I used it, the veggie oil, and when I use the sunflower oil. So since then, I haven't bothered myself buying veggie oil, period. And that's for anything that I cook, to be honest. I don't use veggie oil. I'm almost done here cutting these red peppers. I think this is the last piece that I have in my hand. After that, I'll show you exactly how it looks. Okay, so the red pepper is all done. It's all cut in pieces. As you can see, that's right there. The next thing I'm going to do is, again, everything will need to be cut anyway. So I'm going to cut the onion. And you can cut these as fine as you want to. I prefer not to cut bigger pieces, but some people, they have different preferences as well how they cut onions. Now the amount of onions that you're going to put afterwards, it's all based on the size of the onion itself. Like for this one here, the one I had in my hand, I can actually use it all without a problem. But some onions, you might not want to use it all because it's too much. And when there's too much onion, sometimes it's not good. It just, I don't know. I just find it tastes different with a bunch of onions. You taste more onions than anything else in the food. But for this right here, I should be able to use it all. Like I said, you cut as fine as you can. Yeah, so that shouldn't be a problem to use all that amount of onions. Then I have another plate here that I'm going to cut all the tomatoes. Remember, I had 3 tomatoes altogether. And sometimes as well, it depends with the size of the tomato. You don't have to use it all if you feel like it's too much. But some people love tomatoes. It doesn't matter how much it is, but they love tomatoes. I'll let you know if you can use it all or I can leave some out. But I had 2 good sized tomatoes and one wasn't as big as the others. So we'll see what's up. There's a second tomato. This is not the biggest one, so we'll see. We might not have to use all the 3 tomatoes. And remember, the meat is still on the stove, still cooking along. On and off, you can check it if you want, but I've done it for so long, so I know when I can go back and check, see how it's going and whatnot. But so far, nothing major. It's all right. It's still cooking. Okay, so I think we do have enough tomatoes, but I'll use about 2.5. I only cut another piece from the third tomato, so I didn't have to use them all. And the reason being is because the first tomatoes was good size, so got a lot from that. And then the second one, which wasn't as big but still added up some more. And the third one, as you can see, I only used half of it. That being said, the tomatoes that you see right now, I'm going to use it all. So I do have tomatoes cut down in pieces, so is red pepper. I do have garlic crushed, and I do have onions cut it up as well. The one last thing that I'm going to do is cut the potatoes in small pieces. Yeah, it doesn't have to be bigger pieces really. And you don't have to add every piece that you end up having in a pot. You can just add few, or you can put it all if you want. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's gonna taste good regardless. Okay, so that was 4 pieces of tomatoes. Potatoes. Okay, so there's tomatoes, there's red peppers, onions, fresh garlic, and there's your potatoes. Now for potatoes, you want to cook that separate as well, but do not cook for more than 6 minutes. Once you have it on the stove for about 6 minutes, just drain the water completely, and then just let it sit there, wait until you hear more information of what to do with it. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother with it right now because I still have time. But yeah, and still remember, we still have tomato paste, which I can make it easier right now. Actually, I can cut it open and add it right on tomatoes. It's not a big deal. You can do that, or you can just wait until you put everything together before adding the meat, then you can put tomato paste. But the process of how to put everything together, I will guide you through step by step. So I'll talk to you again in a few minutes.